Hey guys, welcome to the Manchester United News channel. Subscribe to the channel to not miss any news, leave your like, and share, you are very important for the growth of the channel. Let's go to the video. Man United takeover, Sheikh Jassim and Sir Jim Ratcliffe increased bids as deadline nears. Manchester United are still up for sale, as fans grow more and more frustrated with delays while the Glazers continue to mull over offers from Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani and Sir Jim Ratcliffe. After 8 painstaking months, Manchester United fans are still waiting for the Glazers to sell the club. Amid protests, pleas and pressure, all that hungry supporters have had to feed on are a slew of tedious updates, claims and counterclaims following behind closed doors conversations and PR moves from those interested in purchasing one of world football's most prestigious clubs. In November, the British hierarchy said they were exploring strategic options and welcomed offers for a full sale or partial investment. There was still plenty of time then, and while Erik ten Hag's side managed to keep the fans focused on the pitch, summer is now upon us and the scoreboard is firmly in the spotlight at Old Trafford. Who's still in the running? Basically, 2 names led the race for the first deadline of February 17th, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani. Qatari banker Sheikh Jassim wants to buy 100% of the club, although the Glazers own only 69%, the amount Ratcliffe plans to acquire later. That's because after 2 subsequent rounds of bidding which ended on April 28, it emerged that Ratcliffe's £5 billion offer for a majority stake, made through his petrochemical company, Ineos, would allow the Glazers to hold a minority stake until 2026, when their shares will perhaps be more valuable than now. Sheikh Jassim's offers, which are via his 9-2 foundation and promise to rid the club of its debt worth around £500 million, are believed to have been higher than rival Ratcliffe's, although still below £6 billion. Elsewhere, Finnish tech billionaire Thomas Ziliakis threw in the hat in March but withdrew his bid the following month. It remains open to working with another bidder and has criticized the sale process, overseen by American investment bank Rain, for continued delays. There's also been interest from companies who'd be keen to secure a minority investment. Sky News claimed in April that American investor giant Carlyle is among a handful of parties, one of which is believed to be Elliott Management, to have pitched proposals with a view to acquiring a smaller stake at Old Trafford as opposed to a full takeover. It's frequently been reported that the Glazers' preference would be to secure minority investment before selling completely at a later date if they don't get their asking price now. What do the Glazers want? Something we all wouldn't mind, £6 billion. That high figure remains Glazers' asking price, but no one seems willing to meet their demands, and not even family can solve the problem. Brothers Joel and Avram, the representatives of the Americans as CEO co-presidents, want to remain connected to United, unlike their 4 siblings. Avram's appearances at 3 cup finals this season, via a private jet and expenses worth a reported £250,000 per visit from across the pond, seemed a way of conveying his commitment to the Red Devils, although the facts of his family's unpopular tenure mean that he'll need to do much more than sit in luxury next to Sir Alex Ferguson a few more times to ever win the fan base over. Is there a deadline? Deadline, you ask? For supporters who want this long-running saga to finally end, there is little light at the end of the tunnel. The football managers of the club privately hoped that any sale would be completed before the end of the season, but that has now come and gone. Avram Glazer witnessed United's FA Cup final defeat to bitter rivals Manchester City on Saturday and refused to answer questions about the sale of the club as he walked through the mixed zone at Wembley Stadium. But in one section, the clock is ticking as Sheikh Jassim's 5th and final bid is due this Friday, although he will not withdraw the bid, reports claim. Ineos Sports Division are already said to be in talks with United officials, indicating that they're now the frontrunners as we head towards the middle of June. Both camps have allegedly mapped out their own hierarchies in an effort to ensure a smooth transition to power if they're successful in winning the race. What happens once a bidder is chosen? With Rain overseeing United's sale process and assisting the Glazers, their job is sift through all of the bids and feedback to the American family, who will then select a preferred bidder. Rain will proceed to enter final negotiations with the chosen party, talks which the Glazers will be a part of as they aim to finalize a deal. Fans may recognize the name Rain from Chelsea's £4.25 billion sale to Todd Boehly's consortium in May 2022. The bank were notably the lead financial advisors on the recent WWE and UFC merge, as well as advisor to Eagle Football's acquisition of League One side Lyon. Will Erik ten Hag's transfer plans be affected? Ah yes, football. The Ten Hags have faced questions about a potential takeover since United returned from the World Cup, but have refused to use the saga as a distraction despite raising concerns behind the scenes. The Red Devils boss even met Ratcliffe and his entourage briefly when they visited the club's Carrington training ground in March for takeover talks, just as Sheikh Jassim's delegation did the day before, but without meeting Ten Hag. The people running the show at Old Trafford insist it will be business as usual this summer, with the manager briefing United's current hierarchy on his preferred transfer targets ahead of the huge window. United overspent last summer when they took out a line of credit from Bank of America during the COVID-19 pandemic, which ultimately helped pay for deals like Casemiro and Antony. While they may once again rely on these additional resources and incur more debt, Ten Hag's expenses will depend heavily on players' sales rather than funds at the top. Even if Sheikh Jassim, Ratcliffe or a minority investor were to seize some control before the window slams shut at the end of August, the Red Devils aren't expected to splash the cash due to the looming threat of UEFA's financial fair play regulations as a result of recent financial losses. There might be enough in the coffers for a Harry Kane, though. Ten Hag, like his supporters, wants clarity on how much money he has to spend, saying in May, "I have no influence on the budget. All I know is that Man United is one of the biggest clubs in the world, one of the 2 or 3 biggest aspects of the fan base. The club has to compete for the highest honors in the world, the Champions League, Premier League, but in football you need funds to construct squads because the level of your players decides if you are successful or not. Everyone knows you need funds to construct a squad, and high-level players cost a lot of money. They certainly do, and so will Manchester United, if they ever get sold, that is." Thank you all for watching. Subscribe to the channel to not miss anything, leave your like and your comment, that is very important for the channel growth. Until the next video.